We are back. Vlog number 4 of new series with brand new teeth. Yeah, it's been a while. I think the last one I did was at end of November, end of October, and it's 16th of 17th. Jesus Christ, I've missed a week and a half. So yeah, basically week 2 of being back in UK after Turkey, and not felt really good our first week, predominantly because I was away for a week, not really training well, not really eating well, not really having any kind of structure of the day to begin with. So hydration was still there, but food intake was definitely horrendous because first of all I couldn't eat properly. Second of all, I could not plan to eat in certain times, and thirdly, I could not figure out how to make the most out of what I had access to. Predominantly because, like I said, I couldn't even eat properly. So, and all those things coming into play is what people live like every single day. So I had to live like normal people do, and it messed up my stomach big time. This is second week back in UK. So I've been in UK since, so yeah, it's 15 days, so to speak. No, 10 days, sorry. And it's only now I kind of start feeling somewhat normal, just because my food intake was horrendous first week. Had to do some stupid isolation at home and whatnot for some weird reasons, even though all my tests were negative and whatnot. And yeah, so week off definitely did some damage in my physical appearance, in my energy, in my ability to sleep, and so on and so forth. Luckily I got some melatonin in Turkey. You can get that wherever the hell you want, and it was quite cheap as well. I believe, well, relatively cheap, £20 for 3 months supply, so that's gonna last me a while. I didn't feel ill straight away coming back. Felt like flu-like symptoms, and this is the second week I've been back in UK and my stomach is still not right. And a lot of my clients I work with through online coaching, they are ill as well, and for many different reasons. So obviously weather change, still stressful time regards what you can do, what you can't do, which is just moronic, but it is what it is. We just carry on, and I'm just showing this that even I'm struggling at the moment. So as it stands now, I still haven't got a precise structure of when I do what, because I've restructured my business. So I'm training different times now, I'm doing things in different times as well. I'm trying to kind of explore new areas of my personal development as well. So it takes time, it takes careful planning. Same like you periodize your training in a gym, you need to periodize your life. So, so to speak, I know I got most intense things coming up in February next year. So everything I'm doing now, I need to build up my tolerance to stress. So in February, I really just cruise through whatever is going to be thrown at me. So main issues regarding trading and whatnot is just getting my stomach right now. So my food intake is much lower than it was before I went away, and predominantly because I'm focusing on food quality over food quantity. So I was dieting to increase my appetite. Appetite is quite high. I can eat a hell of a lot now, whereas before I got to the point where just looking at food would make me sick. But I'm making sure that foods I do consume are higher quality. But because of restrictions of me having some how can I even describe that? I forgot the word now. No 4 languages, forgot one word. Stitches in my mouth. So they need to come out before I can actually start eating properly and stuff. So my food is kind of getting some kind of sense of how I'm going to be eating for next year, 2 or 3. Just because I had to figure out at what time of the day I feel the most energetic to do the tasks I have laid out in my training plan, and also make sure that afterwards I have energy to perform mental tasks. I don't seem to function very well in the morning. This is one of the reasons why I was training at 6 o'clock in the morning, because it's just brain dead. You don't need much of a brain kind of efficiency to train. Whereas to think and work on my business, I do need to be creative. I do need to have a hell of a lot of clarity in my head. So, and that's just not happening in the morning. It's just not. So, but I am trying to kind of reset my brain so I am more productive in the mornings and train, and then I can just chill and relax and eat and sleep and God knows what else in the afternoon. My training sessions are quite intense at the moment, so training has progressed. I'm on a phase 2 of my training. First was obviously alarm phase, where I'm just kind of getting used to new movements, getting used to training style. Was focusing on increasing my ability to go through intensive sets. So I wasn't counting reps or whatnot. I was literally timing what I do, and timing my rest periods and everything else. So predominantly, well, I got stuck with that word now. Main thing why people are not progressing is because they fuck about in the gym. Literally, they come in the gym, talk 5-10 minutes in between sets, and then go to the gym next day, do same exact stuff. And then they're surprised why someone else next to them is progressing quicker than they are. And most of the time it's just you're not using your time efficiently. You can go to school and spend 10-15 years and learn absolutely nothing, or go to one lesson once you finish school and learn something you're actually interested in and spend focused 60 minutes a day on it and be a master of that craft within a year. Whereas 15 years you probably spent in a school that you were doing things you were not interested in, and that's why you can't even remember like basics of like math, physics, and all those kind of things. So my first alarm phase is over and done. Now I'm into development phase, which is focusing on making sure that everything is executed to perfection. At the same time, intensity is now the key. So first, my phase was focused on just getting things done in a certain time, whereas now getting things done in a certain time, throwing on top of that, making sure that sets, reps are intense as possible. So first phase was making sure that everything is done in a good manner, that everything I have done is full range of motion, nothing is cheated, nothing is thrown through, there is no shortcuts made in anything, whereas now I'm making sure that stays in place, but I'm also adding load now. I'm also making sure that every single set, every single rep is done with clarity and purpose. So most of the training sessions now, I've done only 3 in this new phase, and I come close to nearly being sick. They are much shorter than my previous, like alarm phase was a bit longer, just because rest periods were a bit longer. Now I have shortened rest periods, and I've thrown in load on top of that, making sure that I do not sacrifice my form over weightlifted, because I got another 20 weeks before actually peaking my physical strength. It actually had some questions that I put out on my Instagram for people to ask me, and so yeah, obviously I put a couple of weeks ago about partial reps, that you should not always train with full range of motion. It might be sometimes counterproductive. But this is where your anatomy comes in place. This is where understanding what full range of motion is. So for biceps, it will be extended arm, flexed triceps is fully stretched biceps, and then putting your arm up all the way up. That's when your biceps is fully flexed. You cannot do that in a gym. There is not a single movement that can mimic that. So telling me like, oh, you need to train with full range of motion, I'm like, yeah, for what exact reason? What is that actually going to give you? Look on some of the best guys out there. Yes, they were using full range of motion a lot, but most of the times they were not, because they were predominantly focusing on things that they had to improve. If you want to get that biceps peak, who gives a shit about the stretch? Genuinely, you need to focus on squeezing that biceps at peak contraction. Same as your quads. If you want that rec fem really cut in deep and developed, who cares if you squat below 90 degrees on barbell squats? It's not going to develop rec fem, you know. It might give you a bit of a boost extra on your hamstring development and your glutes, but you need to understand that you're just wasting your energy on doing something where you could be more precise on developing that 1-2 specific muscle groups that might be lacking in you. So that's 2 cents on range of motion, training, supplements, and nutrition changes since last time. So I discussed nutrition already. I'm just trying to get back in the swing of things, eating well, making sure I hydrate. Hydration is the key for now. I even wake up twice at night just to juke down half a liter of water and go back to bed. But yeah, supplements, nothing has changed with supplements. I do take some pre-workout at the moment, which I usually would not, but my nutrition is not up to par, so I kind of feel like I need it sometimes. And also, I'm bigger and I train more intense. I kind of want to train my stomach to tolerate those things. Every time I take supplements, way too many, way too often, messes up my stomach, but I kind of want to build that tolerance up now. And I've discussed my training changes, I discussed my nutrition changes, my supplements. Because I'm not taking anything stronger than bloody multivitamin, I have added creatine. That's about it. So creatine, essential amino acids, and hydro whey. Those are 3 things that are consistently in my diet now. Whereas before, I did not really bother about that much. Especially creatine. If you take something stronger, that improves creatine phosphate retention and all those kind of things. There's no point of taking it. Whereas now I'm kind of running on nothing. So creatine is a really good thing to have. Feeling in the gym, it's interesting. So how do I feel in the gym at the moment? Same exactly like I don't have these things that I follow this training ever. You know, like for example, that's why Trenbolone is so efficient. It makes you numb, it makes you a bit more aggressive, so people actually train like they should do. I don't need that. I train the way I kind of should do because I understand the value of it. And this is with everything in life. If people don't kind of commit to something, it's just because they relate more negative things to doing something properly than they have positives. Whereas my training, I have given up on training so often, and then within a month, 2-3 months, felt absolute garbage, that at this point, no matter what I do, no matter what supplements I take, no matter what kind of training phase I go through, I will really put an effort into it. I don't need anything extra to just feel good in a training session. Even the pre-workout I take now, I don't take it for that mental boost that, oh, I need to train. No, I take it because of those amino acids in the pre-workout, creatine, beta-alanine, all the things that actually work and help me to train a bit longer, a bit more intense, because of just being a bit overgrown. I probably benefit from it more than it can harm me in any way, shape or form. So yeah, I'm feeling great, and I don't think I will ever fall out of this training anymore, because like I said, I have failed into showing up in the gym so often that now not training properly, to me it means like it's never gonna happen again. So how do I make my cardiovascular fitness? At the moment, my training is so intense that there are periods where I go, like today I was doing all out session and then throwing in a recovery exercise that was just literally moving my arms around. So my cardiovascular health is probably nowhere near as good as it could be with my size, but specifically for conditioning, I don't do anything at the moment. I'm making sure that I focus on improving efficiency of swapping from one energy system to another. So cardiovascular as such at the moment is not what I'm focusing on, but it will come in play in next training blocks. So we are kind of building up my lactic acid intolerance and all those kind of things. And when I will get to a point where, okay, this is great now, I will have to find something extra, and then I'm gonna be doing probably half an hour, 20 minutes of really high intensity interval training. Well, at my size, probably just 15-10 minutes, because you don't want to just abuse your joints. And yeah, that's pretty much all other questions have been very similar, and so there isn't much to expand on. Main goal now is get my diet back to normal, get myself feeling back to normal, get rid of this stomach weird feeling. And I'm not only one. I have spoken to so many guys and girls and whatnot that feel somewhat weird over these last few weeks. So I'm guessing there might be some bacteria floundering around. But to not make things worse, I'm not putting any emphasis on eating any highly processed foods anymore, just to get calories in. I am making sure that I do get my protein around 3 grams per kilo, which is just over 360 kilos from grams of protein a day for me. And everything else is just as how I feel. I really don't hit any specific numbers on fats and carbs at the moment. I only focus on that when I'm dieting, and I will build that up slowly rather than trying to obsess that I need so many calories a day. No, as long as I get my protein in, as long as I feel good, as long as I sleep well and recover, those are the key things I monitor. So as I progress from now, like even speaking now, I'm bloody ravenous. I'll make sure that my appetite doesn't dim down, but main focus will be on developing a structured daily plan where I eat in certain times, so I can make sure that I don't put myself in what I call mini jet lags every single day by eating food in different times, because that does affect you in the long run. And yeah, I approach my body as systemically as I can, as you would do with anything. If you go drive a car, first of all, you're gonna unlock the door, then you're gonna sit in, then you're gonna put in neutral, and so on and so forth. Same with your body. You have to have some kind of system that you will acknowledge is making you most efficient throughout the day. For everyone, it's slightly different. This is where I come into play when I program for my guys, just to try to kind of tap into what's the best for them, because some train in the morning, some train at night, somehow stresses with jobs, somehow stresses with partners, somehow stresses with friends, and all kind of things happen. So, and this is where you need to develop your own system for training days, for rest days, for holidays, for weekends, for weekdays, and so on and so forth. And that's why I have planned out 20 odd weeks of what I'm gonna do. I already know exactly what's going to happen every single week. I have a little nudge from Andy Triana at the moment as well, how I can get the most out of my training sessions, and that has been really good as well. At the same time, we kind of vibe from each other in terms of that we both emphasize mental clarity, mental focus as a predominant factor for success, which is cool. So, and yeah, I don't kind of waste any more time on just talking absolute nonsense. If you got any questions, drop me questions. I really like answering those. And if you have any ideas of what else you would like to hear about or me kind of cover and whatnot, just give me a nudge. I will do a kind of pre-workout review series with one of my training partners in the near future, but we just need to plan out all the things. But yeah, this is how it goes. So November 16th, 17th, I believe, 17th November, Wednesday. This is where we are. I'm gonna post some videos how I look like, some snippets about how I train like, body weight. I'm not sure what I need to weigh myself. It's not a lot. I was around 117 kilos in Turkey, and I believe I have lost some weight since I've come back, since I don't eat as much, but at the same time, too much body weight at the moment would defeat the object of what my training is trying to achieve, and I let that build up slowly. So by end of the next year, I'm around 120 kilos, athletic beast, because I just don't want to be big for sake of it. I want to be big and powerful. That's always been a goal with my training, and that always will be the goal of my training. And probably in 10-15 years, I will definitely not give two shits about how big I am. Now it's just a part of the process, kind of acknowledging that at my size I can do a lot of things that most people at my size can't, and I just find it fun. So that keeps me entertained. And on that note, I'm gonna stop chatting shit, and I'll speak to you next week.